10. I'm just like, you know, I just saw like Fight Club. I was like, yeah, this is like great, but it's not a reality. And I think, you know, we're going to talk about. Sorry. No. We're going to talk about like, you know, we'll talk more about like keeping it, you know, realistic in a little bit. But I think, you know, just do what you feel you think you can do. But don't do something that you're pressured in doing, because the moment you feel pressured in doing something, be it, you know, a naked demo, or if it's subobedience or whatever, you're probably going to leave that movement, or you're going to find out you're going to become a snitch. Because you're going to regret and not feel happy about the people that you did things with, right? So if you did like a lockdown, or, you know, you crossed arms with somebody, you're going to, you know, and, you know, there's that infighting, right? Prabhu Gandhi said, who needs what is it, FBI when we have friends like these, right? It's a punk band, and I think that's really clear that we need to figure out better ways of resolving conflicts within the movement, off Facebook, off Twitter, off of emails. You know, you don't need to use PGP, which is like an encrypted email. That sometimes gives red flags. Just meet face to face, take a walk around, you know, your campus or your school. Like, hey, I have this problem with you. I mean, you know, as an academic, as a professor, we don't even do that. You know, like professors, like I don't have to talk to them. I'll lock my door, and I have tenure, and nobody can do anything about it. I mean, and I think, you know, just because you're young doesn't mean that the conflicts, you know, will go away. They even get worse when you grow up and you become more and more stubborn. Which I've found. I wish people were more humble, but so I'm going to talk a little bit about like specifically lockdowns and, you know, some of the terms and language. We don't have all the tools and everything that we did at Canisius, which we were there for like a day or two, like rappelling off the buildings and stuff. That was kind of fun. So if there's, like, let's say 4 volunteers, do you have any 4 volunteers that would like to come up here in the middle? 4, Shirley, 1, 2, 3, 4,
oh, no,
2. Okay, another one, 3. Anybody? Another 4. 4. All right, we got. Okay, so here we go. You've seen this like on videos and stuff, but it's just to kind of get you aware. Nobody is taught this typically in a biology class. You know, like what do you do, like, or you know, when you don't feel that things are going your way. So this is just a, you know, linking the arms, right? And you've seen, you know, Gandhi and Martin Luther King. What you're going to do is just like you're going to face these wonderful people, and you're going to line up like this. So one next to each other, perfect, and you're going to link arms. Awesome. So that's the human link, okay? And now if you want to take it to another level, what you're going to do, this is a decent floor. So if you feel comfortable in sitting down, like, and just crossing your legs, perfect, okay? And so now they're sitting down. Sitting down is more of a resistance form because now, but you're more vulnerable, right? So now a lot more pressure can be put onto you rather than when you were standing up. So now if a police officer or a security guard comes up to you, now I can, you know, put pressure points on you, drag your legs, etc. Does that make sense, everybody? Does everyone feel comfortable in me touching them? I'm not, but, okay, fine. Okay, so what I would do is like, you know, first, there's a number of typical tactics that will be used, right? And these people are trained in that. First, they're going to like ask, say, hey, you know, you're blocking this thing. They'll typically ask, hey, you're blocking this thing. Would you like to get up? If you don't get up, we're, you know, going to apply pressure on you, and then you'll be arrested. And then you say yes or no. And at that time, you'll feel comfortable with your collective prior to getting in this situation. Hopefully, you all come to consensus. The people around you that are videoing, taking pictures, that are in solidarity will know what you will be agreeing. And then you'll have a safe word. Does that make sense? So like banana. And then it's like, I'm done. Like, I'm not taking any more pressure. So most likely, they'll always go for the weakest, right? Kind of like hunting, right? You'll go for the weakest. And so I'm going for the smallest petite individual. So where do we put the smallest and petite individual? We put them in the middle. So now you're going to rotate. So, and I am totally like, doing this by visual. And I'm like saving a lot of time. I'm, being sexist and ableist right now by looking at people's bodies. So I just want to like narrow that down. So you save that on Facebook later and bash me. Okay, so now I want to go after Rocky, but I can't because there's two people inside, right? So now I'm going to do is grab Rocky's legs, grab Rocky's arms, and then what you're going to do is come together like a little hug and go close. So when I go for Rocky, you go closer to her, like right and left. Ready? There you go. Does that sound good? And then if I grab Rocky's or your hands, okay, you're going to lean over so I can't get your hands. Okay, ready? Perfect. So that would be the typical strategy, okay? So there's other ways of doing it. You can link your arms, so like one leg over here, one leg over here. You want to link yourself every which way. There's also like lock boxes and other devices. There's like U-locks, which makes yourself even more vulnerable. You put like a U-lock around your neck and then like around a doorknob, and then you blockade that door. And it's really difficult to cut it, and most police officers, when they see this thing, they have to go and ask for a device, so you got another 15 minutes, and then you put a nice shirt on that says like, free Afghanistan, those kind of things, and then, so what we're going to do is called an octopus. So you can all kind of like wiggle around, but you're going to make a circle, okay? So that arm's going to connect to that arm. So you're going to come out more. Nope, opposite way. So you're going to have all your backs like facing each other, and then your faces are going to be outside. And then you're going to link arms, and then the exact same strategy there. If I come over here, you all are going to loosen up, and then I'm going to grab. Does that make sense? And that's an octopus. These are, a lot of different American Friends Service Committee, the Plowshares movement, the War Resisters Leagues have, do trainings like this as well. So then there's a lot of pressure is going to be put on you. Earth First did a fire in the eyes, where there's a video, and then part of the video is they were not locked down like this, but they were locked in lock boxes, like steel poles, and there's a pipe in them. You can Google lock boxes. Once you put your hand in them, you're kind of handcuffed into a pole inside. It's really difficult to get out. Well, it was the first time in California that they took up the ante, and the police, rather than doing all the pressure points, which they do, they bend the wrist back, they put your thumb, lower part of your jaw, they put pressure points around your neck, and then you come out all black and blue because of these pressure points. What they did instead was and they've been pepper spraying and tear gassing activists for, as long as tear gas and pepper spray has been around. What they did, and it was in the mid-90s, they opened the eyeball of an individual, they sprayed on a Q-tip the pepper spray, and they applied it. And they applied it to everybody. And then when they stopped applying the Q-tip, they just opened the eyeball and they just started spraying until they just couldn't take it anymore, right? And they screamed, et cetera, and they let go, right? The activists, and then there's one more, and you don't have to do it because, I don't know, it's pretty intimate, but you can all stand up. And I'll just kind of verbally say it. Thank you so much. Give them a round of applause. I was thinking about doing it for you, but not. Okay, let's think of them all in a row with one sitting in between the legs. And you're like, no, I wasn't going to do that. Right? And so I'll just kind of face. It would be like one person here and then another person here, and they're all holding each other. Does that make sense? The reason why that is not taken into consideration that much is because you're putting a lot of space into a small amount of space. So you want to like make the largest blockade you can possibly do. And the largest blockade you can possibly do is your arms, right? And then you're like blocking this much rather than when you cram yourselves together, you're blocking like 2 feet rather than, let's say, 7 feet. So again, they tried to sue the California police, and they didn't win. They could do it. They applied the tactics that were needed, and we could see this. And we have to understand that you have to be prepared for whatever, like the beatings, which in this, you know,